Hey everybody, and welcome to the pre-show. A little bit of a surprise midday stream on this Sunday afternoon. It is a bit cool and wet here. How is the weather for everybody else? Hey, Austin, what's up? James, how you doing today? Just getting started here. Got some stuff we need to do on the pre-show, like, well, we're about ready to jump over and haul some compost down, make us a little bit of money. Go ahead and get that done. Got one more load of compost to haul. We need this trailer empty so we can help out buddy Farmulator Gaming's farm. That is correct, James. This is a 4X map. So it is available for PC only due to its 4X size. In addition, its physical file size is too large for Giant's submission. And even if it was 4X maps were allowed on console, it's physically too big file size wise to be uploaded to the Giant's mod hub. And as we know, that is the only way that it can be basically made available for consoles. Is it Tom Mill? Tom Nil? Not sure how you would pronounce that. Anyway, how are you doing today? On this mid-afternoon stream for me. Raisin Bun, what is up? I'm doing pretty good. It is kind of a cool and dreary... Oh, no, let's go this way. Cool and dreary day here. It is midday for me. It will be noon when we officially start. Oh, wait, what am I doing? Compost is sold over here, silly. I don't use the geo that was made for the map because we started our gameplay before that geo was released. And I am a very firm believer in never changing a geo other than in winter. And we've not gotten to winter yet. So it was all mere timing. Well, Austin, I guess. If you want. Let's go grab one more load of compost, and then we will get started working on Farmulator Gaming's fields. We're going to work on a wheat field and a spelt field today. And I offered him some money for his straw. He hasn't replied back. So, based on his comment earlier about asking if he wanted the straw or not, he said no, he didn't really want it. I offered him $100 per 1,000 liters for the straw. Haven't heard back. So I'm just going to work under the pretense, since he doesn't want the straw, he would rather take the money than have it go to waste. So I'm going to go ahead and leave a straw swath and pick that up, because we're going to use it down here at the compost plant. Let's see, we are out of straw down here anyway. Hey Ryan, what's up? Yeah, Screws Workbench. YouTube actually recommended, hey, you know, you should be streaming at like noon based on when your viewers are online. I was like, well, that's nice and everything, but see, I have a real job. So YouTube, I can't stream at noon during the week. But I was thinking last night, you know what? I could do a midday farm sim stream on Susquehanna. Do some harvesting for Farmulator Gaming, and then do our scheduled SnowRunner stream this evening at our normal time, and give you guys kind of a double feature. Try not to wreck. Alright, and this money is going to help us, obviously, pay Farmulator Gaming for his straw, as well as to lease, once again, another forage wagon. Thor, what is up? We are early for you, yes. It is noon for me. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Susquehanna River Valley. We are here for a midday stream. It is noon my time, and I thought, what the hey, let's get on here and do a little farming. Maybe we'll catch some folks that normally cannot be on for a live stream. So how is everybody doing today? Austin, Justin, Scooter's Workbench, Brian, Simpa Rev, or James, everybody else in chat that I have missed. What is up? And I missed my turn off. That's all right. So today we are going to be harvesting some fields for Farmulator Gaming. He is a fellow Giants ambassador. He streams over on Facebook, but most notably, he is a farmer in real life, so IRL. He is out there in the fields for the last few weeks, planting his own crops, and therefore does not have time to come in here and, well, harvest his virtual crops. We're going to take care of that for him. That way, once he is done planting, he can figure out when he wants to sell those crops for his virtual farm. Raz was on last night doing a little harvesting. Maybe we'll get to see a time-lapse video of that. Oh, let's turn. This was our. Yep, this was our turn here. In fact, it looks like got some other straw down here. Raz must have come on and helped him with that field too. David, well, we're going to do a double feature today. We're going to do Farm Sim today, noon, right now. And then we are going to do SnowRunner some more tonight. So all of the grain that we pull off this field is going to be going into his silo. This lined up, and off we go. Zoom out a little bit so it's not so loud. Got this barley field, and we've got the spelt field just in front of us. Spelt field is a lot bigger than one might think. It is deceivingly much larger than it appears. Thanks, what is up? You're doing great today. It's actually a little cool outside, a little rainy. Ryan, I definitely do not remember an International 5288. we hadn't had rain for a while, so it's not bad. It's not super wet, just kind of wet enough to be kind of annoying. Yeah, as I was saying in the pre-show, we're going to have to lease a forage wagon, which seems to be about the third time that I have leased one of those in this year. So I sold the baler. Once we sell all the bales, all the straw bales, or basically take them down to the compost facility for processing, we're going to sell the flatbed trailer also and the bale grab, and we're just going to deal in bulk loose material, because we've got a storage silo that will store hay and straw. We have our fermenting silo that will take our grass and chaff directly into silage, and then we've got our TMR silo that will take loose material. Our cows take loose material for their straw. So in all reality, there really isn't much need for bales other than just to make bales for the sake of making bales. So for the sake of time and convenience, we are just going to switch over and make use of our loading wagon going forward. So the straw that we do drop today, we are definitely going to have to pick it up because rain is in the forecast for this evening. A little unsure how long it's going to take us to really get to collecting the straw. And one of the reasons why we're going across the field this way as opposed to that direction is that the field really falls down toward the river, and it's going to be a lot easier to basically work across the hillside than to go up and down it. Although I suspect in real life one would probably work up and down the hillside more, assuming you had the power to come up the hill, because ultimately it would probably be a bit more stable. There we go. Binks, I just rename my folders. I don't use mod managers. I don't want someone's application managing my mod folders. Because quite frankly, I don't trust what someone else might have written. So I just do the old school and rename them. All right, later, Ryan. About the only outside application that I do actually use is one that can make your kind of archiving and backing up of save games easier. And I did a how-to video on that quite a while ago. But it's a real simple application. What it does is when you launch it for the first time, you tell it where your game is saved, where your game saves are, and then you tell it where you want it to put a copy of your game saves. And at that point, it basically will provide you an interface where you have your game saves on the left and your backups on the right. And basically, you click backup and it zips up your save game into a uniquely named zip using time and date stamp also in the name. And that way you can have multiple copies of the same save game slot backed up. And then allows you to quickly restore should you wish to or need to save game also. Not automatic. It does make backing them up easier than doing it manually. What I wanted to do. We do not have soil compaction enabled on this map. Something else that I tend to do is I tend to be very judicious with adding mods to multiplayer games. And on games that I'm involved in, I try to get it set up so that basically mods are added at most once a week. Because for me, nothing is more frustrating with multiplayer than going to log in and discovering that, oh, there's a new mod. I've got to go figure out what mod I need to get. It's been updated since the last time I was in, and get that added. So I like to set up basically, mods can be requested and everything, and then over the weekend, mod update day, we'll add whatever mods or update whatever mods, and then basically from any one given week to the next, you're not going to have to worry about figuring out what mods have been updated. But no one's really requested the soil compaction, and I would say probably once an existing save like this that's kind of a long run deal starts, probably would want to add that maybe at the end of the year, as opposed to adding it partway through anyway. Go. mean, one thing that really gets me on this map is just the grand view distances that we get. And you can see the smoke coming off of the ethanol plant way off to the north. I think is just absolutely crazy. You figure the distance that we're looking here, we're looking all the way up here to the ethanol plant, and we see that smoke. And think that this is a 4X map, so we're seeing the entire distance of a standard size map and about half the distance of another standard size map. Just going to continue to drive across this, straddle that windrow, just with some level of realism here. You would want to drive across the windrows as little as possible to keep from smashing them down, picking them up easier. You'd also want to be pretty careful about having a hot engine. There's an unmarked, what? Unmarked on the minimap. Oh, you mean this? Yeah, there's a bridge there. So yes, yeah, if you were looking at the minimap trying to figure out, well, how do I get across the river to the sawmill? Do you think you know, it's like, I gotta do this? That's crazy. That's like SnowRunner style there. A little curious how it got missed. I mean, I know the way he made the PDA is he took lots of basically he took lots of above images and basically pieced them together. But somehow that one didn't show up. Right here. Somehow that one didn't show up. Well, I really don't know if there are other unmarked things. I mean, it would probably be really take studying the PDA. Just a turn point here. There we go. go down 3. 1, 2, and we come back up, and then we come up 3. It should be about a full harvester load, 6 passes. See how this field really falls away down toward the river. I wasn't too sure how we would work with the harvester basically powering itself up the hill. Look at our weather forecast, so you'll see that we've got rain overnight. So whatever we put down, we're going to have to pick up, or we're going to probably lose it overnight because we've got rain overnight, we've got rain tomorrow afternoon, and 2 good days of harvest weather, rain again, and then some more good days of harvest weather. So really hoping to get these 2 fields harvested. Seeing that straw down there on the other side of the farm, makes me want to get that picked up too. Let's see here. That field, that was field 125. That had barley in it, right? No. Rye? That had rye in it, okay. It's now been harvested, so okay. Raz went ahead and did those. Wow, I thought he was only going to do this one last night, but he went ahead and got those done too. So these are the only 2 fields that are left. So this one's deceivingly much bigger than you would think it is. Fabio, what is up? I would like to see gold nuggets or some other findable back in the game. I really enjoyed nuggets in 19. It was fun. You go and discover them. It was also frustrating because a lot of nuggets, a lot of maps would have like 1 or 2 nuggets that you just could not get. And it was like, are you serious? Did you not test and make sure you could get all these nuggets? Or did you just throw them in at the last minute? So that was kind of the biggest frustration point is you get like to 98 and then 2 of them would either not show up on the PDA or they would be like underground, buried, to where you couldn't get them. And then at that point you're like, oh, can't get to them. And then you either wait for the mapper to do an update, or you bring it into Giant's editor, find the nuggets that are buried, and basically relocate them so you can collect them in-game. Go ahead and take this on down to a silo. Fabio, I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing? Right? Long time no see. Jalen, it's all good. Just doing a little bit of a surprise midday live stream. I think there was supposed to be a gate there. Wiggy, what is up? Opening? Okay. Didn't know if we maybe had some barbed wire through there or not. Jose, how are you doing today? Or, if you don't want to toss a like, maybe if you're disliking the stream, go ahead and pound that thumbs down button, but make sure you pound it twice. That way you let YouTube know you don't just not like it, you not like it a lot. That's right, Thor. Great quote from yesterday. Head on back up here and can't finish this field off. One more load. Ah, that's fine. Blinks. That's fine. Fairly cool mid-autumn day here too. 54 degrees. Darren, what is up? How are things in the Keystone State? We got basically 13 passes on one trailer load. We should definitely be able to get the rest in. Let's empty this out. If y'all hadn't seen the community post I made a few days ago related to what resolution do you all stream at, or not stream at, but watch at, go check out that community post. a little curious as to basically what resolution everybody watches at. Probably won't really change what we stream at or upload at, but it is a little bit of curiosity on my sake, just to see where our most folks watching. So far, the most popular choice by far is 1080p. I wonder if that's because that is kind of the de facto standard that YouTube is doing. I think if I remember right, they kind of defaulted to that back last year with everyone kind of staying at home. They I think they defaulted everyone to 1080p just to maybe conserve on bandwidth a bit. I mean, I find most folks, according to the stats, watch on mobile devices, which at that size, 1080p is pretty darn nice. Diesel Sims, you're in the wrong account. I don't know how you have two accounts with the same name, but at any rate. In the wrong account. I don't know. I don't know what they did. I was just kind of rambling there. I know I pretty much always get 1080p offered to me as default. Ah, be risky though. Be risky, Jalen. You're one all bet away from losing everything. What do you mean, sub accounts for your content? I have one account. You mean like a secondary account for like other channels? Let's talk about Farm Sim 22 a little bit. What feature, name one feature you want to see in Farm Sim 22 that has not been announced? So you can't say seasons or seasonal changes or anything that's been already known, which, trust me, is pretty little. Name one killer feature for you that you want to see definitely included in 22. VR support. I'll tell you, with the implementation of DX12, I would say whatever VR support comes with DX12 might get baked in, right? Smarter AI. So, like, more intelligent hired helpers. Banks, one. That's two. Gotta pick one. Like, more intelligent hired helpers with respect to, you know, turning, not running into obstacle detection, or something like cattle and crops, where it's like, I want you to go use this piece of machinery and do this job on that field, and go do it. Better vehicle maintenance. That would be interesting, right? The concept of breakdowns and like vehicle maintenance, like car repair simulator, car mechanic sim, or vehicle maintenance like just needing to come up here and you know, if you don't do a maintenance function every so many hours, maybe your implements start to fail. Soil compaction, okay. Well, we don't know. Soil compaction might be the next step of precision farming. We don't really know. I mean, right now we have soil compaction in that add-on mod. All right, Thomnil. Talk to you later. The built-in multi-terrain angle. Saturday morning bacon, welcome. How are you doing today? I don't know about car mechanic sim, mechanics in farm sim. I don't know. Those games never really have appealed to me personally. They feel more like Click Simulator, where it's like just click here and it, you know, then it does a function. I would definitely want it to be toggleable, something you can turn on and off. Those that want the clicking can have all at it, right? We're doing a pretty good time here. Just chilling out. Hanging out with all the wonderful fans that we have here. Everyone, give yourself a round of applause. Helping out Farmulator Gaming, as he is a farmer IRL, and he is busy with spring planting. So what else we've got? So Squiggy's taken back. What is Squiggy taking back? He wanted smarter AI. He says, forget that. I want GPS. So guided steering, basically. Steering lock and or auto drive built in. This is nice. So this is nice. Look at this. See if y'all ever noticed this before. This crop is leaning uphill. This crop is growing uphill. Or it's leaning. So it's vertical to the sun, but since it's on a hill, it's leaning. So the crop's not, you know, tilted the other way, straight up and down. It's still vertical, but the ground is slanted, so it looks like it's leaning as compared to the ground, as opposed to it always being perpendicular. That's what I'm trying to say. Perpendicular to the ground. We've talked about this in the past where sunflowers will lean toward the sun. You've never noticed that. In the later growth stages, sunflowers will lean toward the sun. So if you look at them in the morning, they'll be leaning one way. If you look at them in the evening, they'll be leaning the other way. But this crop kind of leaning uphill, pretty cool. So what else we've got here? What other people? Better pallet and log. Better, dang right. Better pallet, bale, and log physics. So better physics on things you move, right? Bales. Wish bales had a more distinct weight to them. I mean, when you drop a round bale in real life, it's got weight. It's got mass. It kind of squishes. You know, these bales aren't like so dense that they don't flatten under their own weight. A little bit. And as a result of flattening under their own weight, they're not so inclined to just roll downhill like they're a marble. So I would like to see, I mean, we've got tires that deform. Let's have bales that deform when you wrap them and plop them on the ground. Oh, total. Scooter's workbench, total loss. I don't think this is going to work, but let's see. I got to fix my sounds. Hold on. I got to fix my sounds. Fix. There we go. Total loss. I need to do that before I start a stream. I forgot. Leaning trees because of a constant westerly wind. Well, maybe you just need a bet at night. You just need a bet tonight. Pretty sure this thing has worse brakes when it's loaded. I think they did a decent job modeling the brakes. Changing exhaust. Hey, we might not get around to collecting any straw on the stream. I have to do that all on my own. We're going to get nearly 2 full loads off of this field. That's pretty good. Let's see what we get as far as our spelt. Not our spelt, but Farmulator Gaming's spelt. I really like this field over here that we're getting ready to go do, because it falls away and then wraps around this tree area here. As was said earlier, this map is really nice from that immersion standpoint. We've got a field here that's 2 fields that are wrapped around this big area where we've got really big boulders, big rocks. Rocks are going absolutely nowhere. So farmers pretty much said, all right, that's fine. I'll just we'll work the land around this. Leave the trees and the grass and everything there for nature and wildlife. This field here, like I said, it kind of falls away right here. Then it continues on way here down as it continues to fall back. Then wrap around these kind of little patches of trees. This field is my deer. I like this one. This is all just grass. This is why I wanted to work this way across this field as opposed to going the other direction, which would have been longer runs. Would have involved us having to go up and down the hill. Alfredo Farms, welcome to the stream. Oh, we did. Darn it. It's filled all the way full. We're gonna have to come back. So we did get 2 full loads. Surprisingly enough. I wasn't expecting that much. Oh, I am doing fine today. Working here today, trying to help out a fellow farmer, fellow virtual farmer and real farmer in Farmulator Gaming. when he does do his virtual farming, he does that over on Facebook. Fellow ambassador. Definitely worth checking out. We're gonna have to grab a little bit more barley. That harvester emptied, and then we'll start our felt harvest. Not our, his felt harvest, right? Just a little squirt in the trailer. What's up, Ma Passion? We'll just abbreviate the name. How's that? Welcome to the stream. Oh, Scooter's Workbench. It's going to be surpassing Hey Henry for watch hours here in a little bit. So we'll have to try to keep a memory of everyone's feature list and see if they are announced at all through the coming weeks, coming months. Well, you know what? Get my chainsaw, cut down those fence posts. Let's see if we've got another field entrance down here for this other field. Way down here in the corner. Not gonna walk that. Is too far to go. Welcome to the stream from France. We have quite the international crowd today. Great to see. I was saying, this field, it just falls away and wraps around, seemingly much larger than it looks from pretty much any angle, because you only see a portion of the field. Lower level, you don't see what's up over the top of the rise, and from the top of the hill, you don't see what's down below the fall. Go ahead and offload here. See what angle we were on. We're 30 degrees. I think that's what we'll just kind of key off of this run right here. Locker steering angle on that. Up. There we are. So it's going to kind of follow this field edge and cut straight across. And we'll clean up this bit and work our way across. Lila, thanks for catching us for a few little bits at work. We can make your workday proceed a little bit easier, a little bit quicker. Line over here. There it is. Oh. What fence post said what to who? I am still looking for a map to fire up what I'm calling Big Boys and Their Big Toys series. Bridge there. Oh, I could use that to cut over there to his grain bin. Kind of a shortcut. So, kind of the de facto Big Boys and Their Toys. If I don't find anything else, it's going to be on Nebraska lands, I guess. But I would like to find a newer map, something with big fields. fairly easy roads to get around. Now we'll just go ahead and make long runs across, lengthwise, across the hill. That's, I think, no, I think. Let's do one more pass this way. Make turning around easier. Well, Screws Workbench, that is the big rub, right? Even for 4X maps. 16X maps that way. 64X gimmick maps, I'll call them. There's so much area to detail that it's so easy for someone to basically say, okay, that's good enough. Let's go with that. And then you end up feeling like some areas are well detailed. And then other areas are just absolutely barren wastelands. Or you get folks that are, you know, you start making outfields, and you can almost see it. You can almost see it if you look at the PDA of where they started to lay the fields out. Because where they started to lay the fields out, it looks interesting. It looks thought out, right? And then you can see, kind of as they get further and further into the main area of the map, things start to get a little bit more simplified. Fields start to get bigger. And then to the end, you're like, they were just throwing in giant squares just to fill out the map because they were done. I've seen that on a few big maps. It's like, oh, you started, let's just pretend. We'll just pretend. Like this, like we could say, oh, I bet you Nitrodad started over here, and by the time he got over here, he was a little more exhausted. We'll just make these bigger. But from this design standpoint, it makes sense because this is the river flat right here, so just big flat areas of land. All this other stuff is kind of on the hills and such. I do hope they just generally improve the wear mapping in 22 and get a little greater detail, a little greater resolution on the wear mapping. Seems like a lot of things in 19, the wear mapping is pretty low resolution, pretty blocky. Yeah, although maps that are trying to be, I don't know if I call it photorealistic or realistic to real life, right? Two towns less than 4 kilometers apart from each other. That's a pretty big. That's not a stretch. That's pretty condensed. You know, there's lots of. Let's just go rural America, right? Where you don't have towns 10 kilometers, 10 miles apart. You've got towns 20 miles apart. You might have little podunk non-incorporated, like not even postal stops between them. But a town that would sustain businesses and sustain areas for a farmer to take crop to would probably be more than 4 kilometers apart. So photorealistic or real-to-life 4X maps, at least of the U.S., could easily just have one town. So that's where you kind of have to do a little of kind of creative liberties. Take a little trying to come up with the phrase artist liberty, creative freedom, maybe that's it. Curious how you all would have worked this field, given its shape and its dimension. Would you have done, you know, north-south passes like this? Would you have done east-west passes like this? Would you have just went around and 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 around? I tend to try to find a nice long straight edge and just key off of that. It definitely makes it more interesting, and it kind of, are you designing the map for gameplay? Or are you designing the map to be as realistic to an exact space? Right? Like back in 17 with No Creek. Right? He kind of had to take some liberties with some things and put some sell points where there weren't things in real life because they needed to function for gameplay. But he attempted as best he could to hold to the real area as 100% as possible. But there were things that you had to do that just you couldn't get around not having. Oh, he's going in 100 grand again. Let's see. He's going to lose it all again, or is he going to come out victorious? Tristan the man, what is up? Remember, tonight we are going to be on ATS. Not ATS. Tonight we're going to be on SnowRunner. And tomorrow night we're going to be on ATS in our Truckers MP Convoy of the Week. I'm just amazed at people's ability to do train elevations and rolling hills, and to just imagine, from a blank flat canvas, to just imagine the creativity of basically going from flat to a blank map with hills and valleys and rivers and roads cutting through it. Like up here, you can see up on the hill we've got a silo and a barn up there. Got the farm back there on the other side of those trees. My farm is over there on the other side of those trees. Then down here in the river flat, we've got this big farm down here. Mad props to anybody that can take a complete flat blank square and just create a world out of it. Go. Yeah, it could be pretty much anywhere. I mean, I said of Bucks County when that map came out. Welcome to East Coast USA. Anywhere up and down the East Coast, that could be Bucks County. There's so many areas of that map that could just be anywhere. So there's lots of areas of this map that you could just kind of swap out the name, swap out the state signs on the road, and pretend that this works for a hilly area of Illinois, or it works for an area in Ohio. But to too many naysayers, this map is not of America because it's not flat and it's not square. Aren't the fields interesting? And we have such a wide variety. We've got little areas down here. 10.76 acres. We don't own that one. 15 acres, right? Then we have big plots up here. 42 acres. 26 acres, right? 34 acres of grassland. So we've got a wide variety of field sizes, field shapes, the ability to buy a single field, or the ability to buy a pair of fields, or 3 fields, 4 fields, all in a patch. That's right, Delilah. Now, if you are on PC, you'll definitely be able to get this map. This map isn't available for console due to it being a 4X map. You mentioning Lone Oak, don't really know what platform you're on. I'd say about the only real negative aspect that this map has going for it is it will demand a lot of your system, and even with a pretty top system, you're still not going to get that top performance. I think it has to do with the view distance settings on his trees, which hopefully in Farm Sim 22 will be rectified with some of the visual enhancements that they're making in that version with respect to the occlusion culling feature, which basically says only the things that I can see in my rendering. So I'm not rendering all these trees behind me because I'm not seeing them when I'm looking this way. But I understand his reasoning and his thought process in that if you didn't have really long view distances, these trees that we're seeing off in the distance on the hillsides, they wouldn't be there. You would just see barren hillsides. The building that we see way off in the distance that is part of the farm that Northern Alex put in, you wouldn't see that because the view distance on those would be shorter and they just wouldn't appear. I would say Medicine Creek probably isn't all that demanding. All right, Jalen, thanks for dropping by. %. Let's hope we can get across here in 30%. Thor, I have no idea where we want to meet. I would say just suggest the city. I'd be open into adventuring up into Canada. I don't have the Pro Mods thing installed. I probably need some information on how to do that, as maybe others would. But that might be interesting to do. 96%. 7%. Uh-oh. 28. Don't think we're gonna make it. Didn't quite make it. Did not quite make it. I gotta think. Spelt might yield less than barley. Feels like we have harvested quite a lot of this field and only got one trailer load. We got 2 trailer loads off of this whole field, so we'll see. We'll see, but I mean, based on this area, this land area, I would think that we would get 1. I would think we would get like 4 trailer loads off of this. So you really won't know until you try it, right? I don't think I've fired up Medicine Creek for 19. Or if I did, it was so long ago that I don't remember. Hey, he's not going to know what to do when he comes in here and finds all his crop in the silos. Brock, what is up? Welcome to the stream. I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself today? Go ahead and back to it. thing unloaded. Yeah, we made 8 full passes off of 1 trailer load. I don't think we have 8 full passes left. Get 2 whole trailers off of this. So it does seem that spelt is yielding much less than the barley. Now, where is it in price? Barley's down here. 300s, almost a high of 400. Whereas spelt is up here, almost 500. So, yeah, I think barley's a better option. Now the price curve on barley. Spelt is pretty much flat. Big Dog Gaming, welcome to the stream. How you doing today? Thanks for dropping by and spending a little time with us as we do our best to help out a fellow ambassador and get his fields harvested. Good to hear, good to hear. Be his last field, and then like I said, I'm going to come through this afternoon, probably after stream. We've got another 30 minutes or so streaming. I don't know if we're going to get this field done in 30 minutes or not. But if we do, then we're going to need to pick up a forage wagon. Might as well make that, put that order in now. So 23 grand. Oh, I love this little deal. Too bad it only holds a little bit. Uh, 150. So much money. So much money. 70 grand for 26,000. 46,000 for 23,000. Man, so much more money for just a little bit more capacity. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to have to get this Zelon. Just financially, it makes more sense than anything else. I'm going to have to lease it. Speaking of leasing, I need to look at the lease costs and figure out what makes sense. I don't have enough money to buy it yet. Well, I guess I do have enough money to buy that little one. Right? I just have to make a bunch of trips. What do y'all think? You think I should lease the little one? Or lease a bigger one? I still have to, I'm going to have to buy one eventually. Do I lease a little one? Sorry, do I lease a big one and then buy one later? Or do I buy the little one and just be done with it? We need to get this unloaded. We won't make it back. While that's unloading, let's look here again. 80 grand for another 11,000 liters? No. 4,000 to lease that. 2,300 to lease that. I could use this. I could use this 2 hours for less money than this one. $20,000, that's not worth it. That's way too much to lease. It would take a lot of trips, right? Scott's on board with leasing. Thor's on board with leasing. So we lease, I mean, that is $7,000. That's a lot of money. Gotta think, what could I use to pick up all this and have it picked up before an hour is up? And probably, I guess probably the happiest medium is this Bergman. 34,000 liters. And the other thing is, I gotta buy this straw. So I'm paying Farmulator Gaming $100 for every 1,000 liters of straw I take off his field. Now on the flip side, we're going to be using the straw in our compost facility, which is going to pay us about $500 per every 1,000 liters of compost. And compost is made up of straw and manure. So we get our manure for free from our cows. We're going to have more than enough straw from his fields. And I'm basically going to 5-fold my income. So for every $100 I spend, I want to make $500. So yeah. I wonder. I mean, with leasing, you want to go big and you want to get something that you can lease and do everything that you need to do it within an hour. Because if you go over that 1 hour mark, then you might as well use it for 2 hours. Right? So you want to try to get it all done, get it done within an hour. Otherwise, you could have saved money and leased something smaller and had it taken 2 hours. Because as soon as you roll over that hour, you have paid for it. The Esker's workbench, the way I see it, is he wasn't bothered with the straw. He didn't want us to collect the straw for him. So I thought, well, what if I pay you for the straw? I pay you more money than you were going to get if you sold it. Right? If you made a bale out of this straw, 4,000 liter bale, you're not going to sell it for 400 bucks a bale anywhere. So I'm going to give you 100 bucks 1,000 liters. which is the equivalent of $400 a bale. Which in its own right is like, wow, you're paying a lot of money for straw. But it's going to go make something that I'm going to get a lot of money for. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Kind of inclined to just buy the little one and just take the time to do it. Then the investment is done. Let's take a look again. Indecisive me, right? 80 grand. So $5,000 to buy this up front. 5 grand for 35,000 liters. Now every hour it's $2,100. So this could cost me $7,200 if I don't get it all picked up in 1 hour, right? We jump up to this one. It's just another 8,000 liters, 7,000 liters per trip. $8,400 for 1 hour. But then that is a lot more than the other one was for 2 hours. Oh, total failure. We've had more total failures today. We're going to make a decision. We're going to make a decision while this unloads. So again, this is 5,000. 2 hours is $7,100. 6,000. But really, there's not that much more capacity. This big boy increases the capacity by 21,000 liters. It's a big step up, but it's $8,400 to lease. So this one costs more if I do the job in 1 hour than this one did if I do the job in 2 hours. The big boy. Oh, now this one might be the deal. Look. This one might be the deal. It's a lot more capacity than the other one. And basically 7,600 liters. So it's about the price of 2 hours with the smaller version. And we should be able to get it all picked up in 1 hour, hauling 53,000 liters at a time. This one's not worth the effort, not worth the cost compared to the small one. Now this one's 53,000 liters. This one's 56,000 liters, 150 grand. 40 grand. There is our decision. That'll get the straw picked up in a reasonable time frame today. And then we'll buy something later. We'll see where we stand with our monies over winter. I would like to explore expanding our fields over winter also. So the idea of maybe buying this area over here, maybe going across the street, maybe continuing down here. And that is an expensive plot. Look, this is 14 acres for $61,000. This is how WT freaking F. How is that 14 acres? And then how is that 17? Right? Do we expand more down this way? Kind of take this whole corner of holding. Come up here, go up the street and get this area. Kind of inclined to get this up here. I don't know. Scooters were a bit. See, I've took a loan out already. I got to pay a loan off too. I still have $35,000 loan. I mean, I'm spending $56 a day on interest because of that loan. You know, loans are expensive. As far as I'm concerned with seasons, because you have so long before you get any profit. Now, we do have cows. We will be getting milk soon. We've got 50 cows, 57 cows, 5.4, 4, 4, 4. So, sometime early next year, in spring, we should start getting milk. So that'll help give a little bit of daily income. You know, like if the milk could counterbalance your loan interest, right? Then you weren't basically running into the hole every day. Now, in theory, as long as we have manure, so if we keep pumping out manure, we can keep straw. And until we run out of straw, we're going to be able to make compost. Pretty much every day I'm going to take the manure I do have down so we can get a little bit of compost, and then every few days I'll have enough to make a trailer load, and we get about $12,000 to $13,000 a trailer load. So that could also help us kind of chip away slowly at a loan. But I wouldn't want to go super deep into debt. this worked out pretty good. Well, are you doing seasons or non-seasons? Well, obviously, if you're talking about winter, you're doing seasons, right? So just go to down here. You see your estimated food required. I need 153,000 liters of food for my cows for a year. So divide that by 4, and that's how much you would need over winter. So take whatever this number is, divide it by 4, and that's how much you need for winter. The season duration is the amount of food required is all based on the number of cows you have, the combination of cows you have, the size of the cows. All of our cows are the same weight, but if you've got young cows, they're going to take less food. So there's a lot that goes into this calculation. But if you take that and divide by 4, that is basically 1 season's worth of food. And that number will change as your cows grow. They'll demand more food. Saint Aggressor, welcome to the stream. How are you doing tonight? Today? This afternoon? I've just got this little corner. So keying off that edge of the field down there, that really did work out well for us. Well, Delilah, it's always a balancing act of how much land you have to how many animals you can basically feed, right? So at some point you will outgrow your capability of feeding based on the amount of land that you have, and you'll need to either acquire more holdings or sell off some critters. Now, if you're doing beef cattle, you know, they will just keep getting bigger and bigger and demanding more and more food every day until you basically sell them and buy young ones. So I usually say that, you know, when's the best time to sell your cows for beef? Basically, when you decide that they're not worth the food that you're giving them every day. They will, at some point, start needing more food than you feel they're worth. And when you get to that point, then that's when you want to sell them and buy some new ones. The new ones will be smaller, so they will consume significantly less food at that point. We've got 2 loads. I guess we'll probably get 2.5 loads out of that bigger field. You just missed it too, right? So tonight at our normal scheduled time, we will be streaming SnowRunner once again. We've unlocked a couple contracts that appear to unlock locations. We're going to focus on those contracts tonight. See if we can't get those locations unlocked. See what those locations are going to provide us. They just might provide us additional resources that are going to make other tasks and contracts easier. That's my hope. And ultimately working our way toward getting that rocket launched at some point. We're going to have to dive over to the North Aegeus installation map. At some point, I have been avoiding that one for all get out. Kind of want to make that my absolute last map that I open up, and therefore probably the last contracts that I do related to that. And then tomorrow night we will be on American Truck Simulator doing our weekly multiplayer convoy with our Pony Express transport drivers. Maybe we'll be driving up in British Columbia on a Monday. We'll just have to see. Let's see who might be interested in installing the Pro mods. Canada map. Two passes around on this edge, and then we'll be able to make some turns a lot easier. Yeah, we got these 2 fields done. Our 2-hour allotment. As I've already said, we're going to be just picking up the straw. I'm going to have to keep track of that, and then let Farmulator Gaming know how much I need to pay him. Doing that coming into this afternoon. you all have enjoyed the stream. Big thank you to our farm hands, farm bosses, and farm barons. Those are members of the channel. You can join the channel if you want by clicking on the join button down by the subscribe button. There are some perks that you can take advantage of by joining the channel. And look forward to seeing you all tonight again as we jump back into the public tester rebuild of SnowRunner ahead of its full release of Season 4 on Tuesday. Till next time, happy farming.